excited to be here. I was in Dubai yesterday and I will be in Amsterdam tonight, but I'm so excited to be able to be here today, because it's amazing what's happening right now in mobility, you know? In the last 10 years, everything is happening in mobility. But I don't want to start with the good news. I want to start with the bad news. Why? Because you know every day of your life that you exit to go somewhere, the transportation is broken. You know it, come on. Even to come here, you experience that. In the brilliant idea to actually create this amazing piece of technology, the automobile. Well, the problem of the automobile is inside the concept itself, automobile. In reality, it stays steady inside the garage for 80% of the time. And the rest, we are bumper to bumper in roads that are not conceived to scale up in our cities. And we even build our cities around this. But the big lie starts in this particular moment when I talk on the video, you can actually diminish the audio. Thank you. So it starts when they sell you the car, right? They describe this amazing, incredible world of cities that are completely empty. And you're driving in these amazing empty spaces with your boyfriend, girlfriend, everything is amazing. And then you exit the reseller, and that's what you get. Pollution, noise, overcrowded cities, they are not conceived to actually face the overpopulation, and it's only getting worse. But if you are complaining about São Paulo or your own city, means only one thing. Means you've never been in China. China National Day. They've been stuck in traffic for 11 days, guys. I don't even want to know how they went to the restroom. This is nasty. And it's so nasty, this is the mother of all the traffic jam, that this is the result of this. Welcome to Beijing. This is Beijing in a very good day. Because in a bad day, it looks like this. You can say, well, I'm not taking a car, I'm green, I will take the underground. Okay, let's walk through the underground. This is Beijing, we start from there because it's easy. They're trying to come out of the, no. They pushed back in. And this is happening everywhere in the world. This is London, one of the most beautiful underground ever created. This is not even the peak time. Because peak time, guys, you know something about peak time, right? São Paulo. That's a peak time. That's really, that's what I call peak time. But I have to admit, it's not everywhere like this, okay? In Japan, they fix it. They have white gloves men that push you inside. That's our future, right? So, well, it can be a fix, but I don't think that we want this kind of future for our children. Let's look at the rail, okay? Yeah, I know this is India, Bangladesh, but if you look at what Forrester says about our demographic, it will soon come at this point everywhere. These systems are not designed to scale up. And okay, let's look, I'm not taking this because I'm flying. Well, let's talk about the airports, right? So first, 70% of the operation that we do at the airport, we can actually do it even before we arrive there. Why? Why are they keeping us in line? And everything seems to know where we're going, except our luggage. You stare at the carousel while it's promptly delivered in Botswana or somewhere. But I have a good news, guys. They fix it. Now they have 11 shops around America that will resell your luggage at 70% discount. So they fix it. Now the mistake is embedded inside the problem. So fine, you go there, you find your stuff, it's amazing. But if I would tell you, tomorrow is the last day of your life, you would be pissed. You would be disappointed. You would start to think about the things that you would not been able to achieve. You're thinking about your wife, your children, and everything would be important. Every single minute of that last day will be priceless. Well, if you're living in one of these cities, you're living 1, 2, 3 years less than was expected. And we think it's normal. We're becoming numb. I don't think it's normal. Living in major megalopolis means losing years of our life. And this is something that we need to solve as humanity. Now, all the bad news, I usually have a solution. And there was a visionary guy that in 2013 published a white paper, Elon Musk, and said, well, we should look at technology that are 100 years old. And he named it the Hyperloop. But this technology was very old. We started to try to move inside tubes in the 18th century. But only recently, there was one company that me and my co-founder started. Immediately after Elon Musk published the white paper, that was called Hyperloop Transportation Technology, with a vision that we can build something that is safe, sustainable, it can make money, and we can actually tackle one of the biggest problems, that is connecting in short distances, very long and distant places. And the vision of our company is doing it efficiently. And that's the key of the project. How many of you doesn't know what the Hyperloop is? Please raise your hand. I'm not taking it personal. Okay, 1, 2, it's fine. Guys, we are among friends, not 3, 4, okay. Security, remove these bastards, please. The fuck? I'm joking. Let me show you a video that tells you what the Hyperloop is. Thank you. Here we go.
Imagine.
We need audio. Let me do it again. Pump up the volume. DJ.
Imagine.
Too much.
Imagine a capsule. Imagine a capsule that can carry people. Placed inside a depressurized tube, the air removed to eliminate resistance. Not traveling on rails, but actually levitating above them. Capable of reaching airplane speeds and beyond on the ground. This is a Hyperloop, and it is amazing. Even more amazing. At Hyperloop Transportation Technologies, we haven't been imagining, we've been building for the better part of 5 years. And amazing is where we started. We're transforming the passenger experience, putting comfort and safety at the center of everything we're doing. Our reimagined linear electric motor is powered by sustainable solar energy, propelling the capsule on a completely new, incredibly efficient passive levitation system. With these 2 breakthroughs, our system is capable of giving energy back to the grid. And when something didn't exist, we invented it. Introducing Vibranium, a composite material that monitors speed, capsule integrity, and atmospheric condition in real time, a new benchmark in passenger safety. And we're not done. Our team of over 800 strong, a worldwide intellectual ecosystem of thinkers and problem solvers, tackle each day with the humble goal of changing the world. With its speed and efficiency, the Hyperloop will rewrite the rules of travel and mobility. But that's just one side of the story. There's another side that will have a far greater impact. It's the side that redefines how we connect with one another. Where distant friends become neighbors, countries become neighborhoods. And everybody who inhabits this big, crazy world of ours grows a little closer together. Just imagine that.
You can applaud, it's legal. It's legal. In this country, we can do that. Too much, that's okay. So let me recap for a second. Imagine that we put together technology that were already existing by integrating in a very smart way. First, the Hyperloop is built on pylons. It will be cheaper it will be better to build it underground, but this is cheaper. And building underground right now is a challenge because we need technologies that are not here yet, but we're working on it. So we build on pylon. Why? Because the right-of-way is one of the biggest problems that transportation has. By building on pylon, we can actually use the existing right-of-ways. Rails, highways, they have the line that we need. Of course, is not about speed, it's about efficiency. And we will slow down and curve when it's necessary to do it. In that sense, the Hyperloop is not going at the speed of sound all the way. It will be constantly accelerating and decelerating slow enough that you don't feel it. Now, in imagining an Hyperloop, how we build it, we use materials that were not existent before. We use ultra-high performance concrete. We can reach density that allow us to build infrastructure on top. So imagine that we will build desalinization systems. We can actually transport bandwidth and mobile phone lines. And we can also, through solar panel, produce electricity. All this excess we will be redistributing along the line, creating a new business model that allow the land to increase of value and not diminish like the rail or the highways. That was the biggest problem. These are designs that we are implementing in several feasibility studies. So imagine that the Hyperloop will mute shape depending on where it's built and the morphology of the terrain. It doesn't impede migration of animals. And because it's silent, it doesn't pollute as a sound and as the emission. And we use a special ultra-high performance concrete that can absorb carbon dioxide and release oxygen. So it's also better for the environment. But what is to actually start to build a network of Hyperloops for humans? Imagine what it is. If we can connect cities that are distant thousands of kilometers in few minutes. Now you can live in São Paulo and work in Rio, or vice versa. Well, there are crazy people that want to do vice versa. Don't judge them. It's fine with that. But in reality, if you look at every feasibility study we're implementing, we are reshaping completely the entire area. This is a feasibility study in Ohio, the only state in America that actually put money on a Hyperloop system. And we are now designing the entire area. It's called the Great Lakes. Imagine Cleveland, Chicago, even Toronto. Cities that were distant kilometers away and 7-10 hours away, now they're connecting in half an hour. And people can actually work and travel in the same day among these cities. And we are also looking on how to actually design new cities in the middle. They are a few minutes away from both. Because the immediate situation that we are analyzing around the world, that the people, when they can move very fast and in an agile way, they don't want to live in the center. They want to live in a beautiful place that is ecologically viable and maybe that has less pollution and less problems and few minutes away from the work. And we can make it happen. This is the immense proposition that we are bringing on the table, because now we can redesign the entire human mobility from passenger and freights. Let's look what does it mean in terms of the instrument that we are using. We're using pods. There's a different concept than the rail system. In a rail, you try to move as much people as you can from point A to point B to point C. You pack 1,000 people, and then you have to move them. Well, the problem is, if you have to move to point Z, you have to stop all the way. And that's the actual rail system. With the Hyperloop, you have a small capsule, 30, 40, 50 people, that you move from point A to point B. 40 seconds later, there's a capsule that brings you to point C. 40 seconds later, there's another capsule they bring you to point D, and so on and so on. And we can also design an artificial intelligence that actually react on demand and tailor-made the travel based on demand. It's not futuristic technology, we have it available right now. So imagine if you can depart the capsule every 40 seconds, we are talking about 3,400 people an hour. 68,000 people a day in the small capsule, 160,000 people a day in the big capsule. 24 million people a year. To give an idea, between Los Angeles and San Francisco, there are 7.6 million people moving. We can substitute the entire transport industry 4 times with 1 tube. Well, we can also put more tubes on the same pylon, up to 7. We have 30,000 psi of resistance. It means we can literally design the transportation system that can afford the entire human evolution for the next 100 years. If we become 9 billion, there's no point in the planet that we cannot serve with an Hyperloop system. So it scales up, it's completely looking at the future, but it's also extremely efficient. When we were looking at the capsule, we're also looking at revolutionizing the concept of travel. I told you, traveling sucks, but it hasn't to be like that. First, we look at how to design this more efficiently. We came with this. This is the first full-scale capsule in history that has been designed and developed last year using a partner that is actually designing airplane, is a tier 2 manufacturer of Airbus, but now we unleashed their creativity and we said, just follow the specs and try to design something that is bigger and better and more efficient than anything else. And what they came across is a solution that beat every record. To give you an idea, the normal air industry designs airplanes that are maximum 60% of carbon fiber. It means the lightest and the more efficient material existing right now. We have designed this at 85% of carbon fiber. The next iteration of this will reach 90%. It means more efficient, but also introducing new materials.
When you're thinking about how to solve what's wrong today in transportation, it takes more than just one person, one company. It literally takes a movement. And that's what we're doing. We started to manufacture the first full-scale passenger Hyperloop capsule in the world. We're working with the best in class.
I'm Paul Priestman, and I'm the chairman of Priestman Good. We're the leading transportation design company in the world. We work in many sectors, in the aviation sector, the rail sector, and even in space. It's been great working with Hyperloop Transportation Technologies. Their ethos is very similar to ours here at Priestman Good. What we're trying to do jointly is develop the most modern, the most futuristic form of transport.
We developed a new material. We called it vibranium. Vibranium is the safest material on Earth. It's intelligent. It actually senses integrity. It monitors impact. We're manufacturing the capsule with a double layer. So if one skin is damaged, you still have the other one and can take the capsule out of circulation. Production will roughly take 1 year at our partner Caburis, which is manufacturing also for Airbus and Boeing.
In the case of Hyperloop, this could be thought of as an airplane without wings. Putting those two teams together was crucial to really get the ideas and the technologies to really materialize and see what we're actually seeing today.
De forma primordial.
By using cutting-edge technology, we're transforming mobility as we know it.
Para nosotros,
It's been a pleasure being part of the process from the beginning, from designing the capsule to manufacturing, assembly, and final delivery.
Together, we have built the world's first Hyperloop passenger capsule, and now we're sending it to our research and development facility in Toulouse for integration and testing.
Redesign, it's legal to upload, you can do it. Not to me, to the scientists that are working on this amazing project. Now, imagine what it is to redesign a blank page on transportation. It gives us the unique opportunity to rethink about everything. For example, the concept of travel right now, how they treat us, it's not human. It's based on something else, but not for sure what we need. First class, second class, it doesn't mean anything. I am a different person when I'm going to work from when I'm coming back to work. I need different things. When I'm traveling with my wife, I need different things than when I'm traveling with my boss or when I'm a tourist. I'm the same person with different needs. Nobody is factoring in this new need. So I needed to redesign the concept of passenger. We call it the naked passenger. So not because we are naked, come on, but because we don't need anything. We just need our biometry. And thanks to our biometry, we can actually invoke a smart contract that has all our characteristics and I have a good news. This identity will not be owned by anybody. It's there in the cloud. It will be called only by me when I need it. I will give the permission to use it wherever I am traveling, and then this goes back to the cloud, and nobody will have to exploit it if I don't want to. So the naked passenger will be able to actually enter in the capsule and receive the services that he needs that will be relevant for him in its specific moment. What does it mean? Imagine a new environment you can design where contents can actually come to you. Even the windows is not a normal window. It's an augmented windows. And what I mean augmented? Well, you don't need actually a window. When you have enough definition, your eye perceives reality as real if you pass a certain amount of pixel. So we have now the technologies to actually allow us to reach that. You're looking out, and what you're seeing, it's a smaller, a slower version of reality, or where do you want to go? You want to go to Paris? You want to go to Italy? I'm biased. You want to go in the future, in the past? We can bring you there. And it's not only a very cool way to travel in the future, it's a new vision for our future, because maybe the cost of passenger is so low that actually we can give it the system for free and then monetize all these premium services. And our business model has been analyzed by several universities, Fullerton, Harvard, and we find 4 new ways to monetize users without charging anything. And it's not impossible, it's already happening. It's happening when you use Facebook, you use Google, and there are companies that are making billions of dollars with that. But redesigning the passenger experience means that you have to have a frictionless experience. And technology, again, helps us. For example, on safety, well, if you do your job well, 70% of the safety operation can be done even before you arrive there. Data mining, analyzing behaviors, and only stopping people that are actually at risk of something. And then passively scanning everybody, and only actively scanning the people that deserve to be scanned, to be able to be sure that we are safe, but also we don't bother everybody in the airport. It's awful, the experience. So frictionless experience means that you arrive at the station and you have a constant availability of the capsule when you need it. How do you achieve that? Well, I have a very nice way to represent it. This is called Dewdrop. I love this name because I invented it. No. It's really nice. The concept is about creating a station that actually will be seamless and frictionless for the user. So the capsules are constantly kept under vacuum. You have 3 lanes: speed lane, maneuvering lane, and dock lane. The capsule docks like an airport. As you can see, the capsule that docked don't impede the rest of the capsule. And you load the people in 2 minutes, or depending on the frequency that you want to achieve. And then you depart capsule 1, 11, 22, at minute 0. 40 seconds later, capsule 2, 12, 23, and so on and so on. You can guarantee a constant throughput that has never been reached on Earth. And you can be intermodal and intramodal with the rest of the mobility services. So imagine that you have last mile solutions with taxi, Uber, and undergrounds and whatever, all integrated in one system. We were talking about efficiency. When I talk about efficiency, I talk about how we produce energy and how we save energy. Producing energy was not complicated. Come on. We could have done it in the rail system. We did it in the Hyperloop. We put solar panel on top of our tube, and this alone will allow you to cover a majority of the cost of running the Hyperloop. And then you combine it with a combination of renewable energy by using wind, kinetic energy, regenerative braking, because the capsule that stops can generate electricity. And in some climates where the solar panels are not efficient, geothermal. It's everywhere. Why don't we use it? So the combination creates this. I don't know if you have ever been in Ottawa. That's not typical. It's Canada. It's pretty cold. It's not where you go to take sun. And in Ottawa, we can arrive to 15% more energy than we consume. But in normal situation, you can arrive to 30% more energy that you consume. You can re-inject to the grid and actually make money out of it. It's not complicated. We could have done it in the rail. They don't do it. Now, something that makes me more proud than the Hyperloop itself and how we achieved this. How can it be possible to create a fifth mode of transportation in 5 years? Well, we immediately realized that we didn't have all the solution. You know, it was too big of a challenge to actually approach it in a normal way. So we said, okay, we don't have the answer, but out there, probably there's someone that can help us. We did a call to action, and we said, whoever will join our team and help us, we'll give them pieces of the company, stock option. The result is magic. We have more than 500 people, it's exactly 870, working from 42 countries. We are the biggest effort that humanity did to put together the best minds in of the planet to solve one of the biggest problems. And now entire companies joined our team. Even the 70,000 hours that have been contributed were not only by individuals. These are the companies, some of the companies that joined. And this is my chance to tell you guys that we are constantly looking for innovators, designers, scientists. If you have a talent, please apply to join our team. We need you. We need local people and local companies to actually help us speed up the process even here in Brazil. And I will get back to this very soon. Even His Highness Sheikh Falah bin Zayed Al Nahyan, the brother of the ruler of Abu Dhabi, joined our team personally, not with the Sheikh office. And amazing scientists, you know, the two women that will go to Mars mission are actually our global ambassador. And we have a space agreement with NASA to do our CFD analysis. Now, right now, I'm particularly proud to launch what is called Hyperloop Academy. What I notice is that there's an extreme inequality of males and women in the engineering field. Why? Well, because we did a big mistake. We pushed humanity to think that engineering is boring, is technical, is at the opposite of art. There's nothing more false. Engineering was art. If you look at Leonardo da Vinci, not because I'm biased, I'm Italian, but he was an artist, right? Art and science was the same thing. Then history went a little bit transversal because of the church. I don't want to go in there. But the reality of the fact, these are the same concept. We need to redesign the concept of scientists. And women, diversities, minorities, these are all welcome to science. Science is good. And we are launching now programs all over the world to actually re-put art and science together. And that's, I'm particularly proud. Even Harvard talked about us. They published a white paper on our model, and they're now teaching at Harvard our model to solve the other problem of humanity. I'm particularly proud. Even the World Economic Forum named us Technology Pioneers 2018. We're now working on two incredible groups, the Advanced Mobility Group and the Fourth Industrial Revolution, to redesign the transportation of the future. So we are not theoretical thinking about the mobility. We are designing it right now with 50 of the top companies in the world. Now, before leaving you, I want to explain, where are we? The first question I have, right? When do we ride an Hyperloop? In 30 years, okay, it's fine, but you know, I have a bad news for you. It's happening right now. We signed 11 deals with countries that has been embracing the concept, and we are at different stages of feasibility, but there are 3 projects that I want to point out in the last 2 minutes that are particularly relevant for you guys. The first one is Toulouse. In Toulouse, actually, while we're talking, the first Hyperloop line is in construction right now. And this is the certification track. It's small, it's 300 meters, but it's big enough to actually show that the technology is viable and is also delivering what it promised. The capsule has been shipped, is in shipping from Spain to Toulouse. The tubes are now coming up in the system, and in 2019 we will be riding the first human travel inside the Hyperloop. The second project I want to show you, it's probably more relevant to you guys. That's the size of the tube, just to give you an idea. This is not Photoshop, that's me inside the tube walking. It was particularly emotional this day, because imagine what it is to travel in something that you know will be the future of humanity in transportation. It's really exciting. This is the project I want to talk to you guys. Brazil, after a tender of dozen of countries that applied to have our research and development center on mobility, won this tender. We've had a very extensive matrix of parameters, and Brazil was scoring in the top 5 in every single parameter. And we choose Brazil because they were not only an amazing platform of innovation. Here you have talents, resources, and you can actually leapfrog. You have a density of population and the need for a faster, more sustainable, and efficient way to move people and cargo. Brazil was the right choice because what we saw, an immediate bipartisan approach. So whatever was happening in the election, we were sure we were delivering the project, but the sustain of it was demonstrated immediately. The government pushed a lot to inaugurate this amazing place, and this was the result. The inauguration, 1,300 people show up on a Saturday evening. I don't know you guys, in Minas Gerais, Friday night. When I was 25, I was not going in the inauguration of the R&D Center. I was not. And this was the incredible team put together. These are almost all Brazilians. You have to be particularly proud of them. And some of them are here in the room. Can you please stand up, guys? I want you guys to give them a very big round of applause, because these are the people that are designing and changing Brazil forever. They will stay. I have to fly out in Amsterdam. Please talk to them, speak to them, give them some support. They are a piece of history of this country in transportation. There were 60 media taking the event. For all of a sudden, as the governor said, the world waked up and discovered where Minas Gerais is. And I'm particularly proud of it, because it's beautiful that these kind of things can happen actually in a country that needs a better way to move people and cargo. And the last one was China. We signed a deal with China to actually build an Hyperloop system, a commercial line. Now, among China, Ukraine, the most advanced project that we signed is UAE. And in the last minute, I want to show you what is happening in UAE.
It is in our nature to move. Humankind has leveraged increasingly better modes of movement and overcome distance across land, sea, and sky. The economic growth after every innovation in transport has been astounding. Abu Dhabi in the UAE has for centuries been an innovator of transport for people and goods. Located 145 kilometers away from Abu Dhabi is the historic city of Al Ain, a city of great antiquity. Currently, Abu Dhabi and Al Ain are connected via a highway that traverses the desert, reaching Al Ain in a little over 2 hours. Imagine making the same journey in 15 minutes with the introduction of a new, revolutionary mode of transportation, Hyperloop. The Hyperloop TT system is a capsule within an enclosed tube environment in which air pressure has been drastically reduced. The capsule hovers by virtue of our exclusively licensed induct track system. The Department of Transport of Abu Dhabi, supporting Abu Dhabi Vision 2030, commissioned Hyperloop TT to conduct the world's first complete feasibility study to evaluate the development of a commercial Hyperloop system. The study covered an assessment of the technical, financial, and regulatory requirements. The implementation of Hyperloop will showcase Abu Dhabi's aspiration for sustainable and autonomous transport solutions. With departures every 2 minutes and an unparalleled experience, the Hyperloop TT system is built for the passenger. Next generation design will ensure that the Hyperloop system does not divide neighborhoods and communities. The tube system traversing the stretches of desert is designed with solar panels integrated into its external cladding. Hyperloop will transform the way we live and work by establishing a completely new ecosystem encompassing Abu Dhabi and Al Ain. Hyperloop transportation represents a new era of development for Abu Dhabi and Al Ain, bringing these two iconic cities and their people closer, opening up new experiences for residents and tourists, and revealing new business opportunities.
So mark your calendar, October 2020. We have just announced that we started the first phase of implementation. In October 2020, we will be delivering the first 5 kilometers of a longer line that will connect the border of Abu Dhabi to the airport. This is the first historical Hyperloop. Don't miss it. Please come there in 2020. I will be willing to bring you in the future. There are people that are thinking about the future. We are building it. Thank you very much. Thank you.